When Apple released iOS and iPadOS 16.2, one of the essential features in the update was advanced data protection. Of course, we all want to ensure our devices have the most up-to-date security features, and this update makes the data you back up to iCloud more secure. In this video, I'll walk you through the setup and the drawbacks of advanced data protection. Let's get started. Advanced data protection adds end-to-end encryption for your backups of your devices stored on iCloud. What does this mean? Only you can access the data those backups contain. If someone, such as a hacker, breaches Apple's servers, they can't get your stuff. Law enforcement can't demand that Apple hand over your backup data because Apple can't even give it to them because Apple doesn't have access to your advanced data protection. The downside is you have to set up account recovery, and it would be a really good idea to set up a recovery key too. If you don't have access to either of these, you wouldn't have access to your backup data. With all that being said, I still think this feature is something that you should take a look at. And turning this feature on is as easy as flipping a switch, but you'll need to take a few steps first. So you'll need to update to the latest software on your iPhone, iPad, and Mac if you have one. In this case, you must run at least iOS and iPadOS 16.2 and macOS Ventura. To complete this on your iPhone or iPad, you'll need to come in and launch the Settings app. Scroll down, tap on General, tap on Software Update, and make sure that you're fully up to date on your iOS devices. As long as your devices are running the latest software, all should be well. Now let's set up advanced data protection. The steps are the same whether you're setting this up on an iPhone or iPad. So what we'll do is we'll launch the Settings app. We'll tap our name at the top. We'll tap on iCloud. And the first thing you want to check is to be sure that iCloud backup is turned on. That's important. Once you've verified that, scroll down and go ahead and tap on Advanced Data Protection. Apple will provide information on what Advanced Data Protection does and what it backs up. Now we'll follow the on-screen instructions to continue. Below the option to turn on Advanced Data Protection, you'll see Account Recovery. Go ahead and tap on that, and this option will need to be set up since Apple cannot help you recover your data. You can designate a recovery contact using a trusted individual who also has an Apple device, or you can set up a recovery key. I would recommend setting up both. Once this is set up, you'll need to confirm the recovery key and verify your recovery contact, and now advanced data protection can be turned on. So now let's go ahead and create a recovery contact and a recovery key. So as you can see, I already created a recovery contact, and I used another iCloud account that I have and just created it for there. So let me just walk you through the process, and remember, the person that you give access to must use an iPhone as well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tap on Recovery Contact, and it's going to say Add Recovery Contact. I'll tap that. And now it's going to bring you in, and if you have a shared account with people, you may see them there, but you don't have to choose them. You can choose someone else, and basically it's going to take you in to your contacts area and give you some suggestions, or you can tap on the plus sign And when you do, you'll come into your contacts list. Again, I'll remind you to choose someone who has an iPhone. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that, and you can see that mine has already been set up. And so it tells me that if you forget your password or device passcode, Ellen can help you regain access to your account and your device. So now I'm going to tap on Account Recovery to come back, and now let's create a recovery key. So I'm going to tap on, it says on, and I think this is a glitch because I created one to see how it was done and then deleted it. And so for some reason it says it's on, but it is not. So let me go ahead and tap on that. And when I come in, you'll see that the toggle switch is off. I'm going to go ahead and tap to turn it on. And when I do, it tells me if you lose this recovery key, you cannot access your data, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and say, use recovery key. And then it's going to ask me for my iPhone passcode, which I will tap in. And now it creates this key for me. And as soon as I'm done, I'll be deleting this, but here's the key that it's created. What I would do so that you don't forget this key, because you're going to need it in the next step, take a screenshot. So I'm going to take a screenshot right now. And so that'll be saved into my photos area. And I'm going to tap on continue. And when I do, it's going to ask me for that recovery key. So if you don't write that recovery key down exactly as it was given to you, this process won't go through. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe halfway up the screen to come into the app switcher, and I am going to come back into my photos, and I'm going to find that last photo that I took that has the recovery key in it. I'm going to push and hold on it so that it allows me to select the key, and I'm going to tap on copy. I'm going to swipe up from the bottom of my screen to come back into the app switcher. I'm going to tap on verify recovery key. I'm going to tap in there so that I see the cursor, push and hold on it so that it pops up paste, and now I'll paste my recovery key in there, and I'll tap on next. Now, once that has happened, it should go through and create a recovery key for me. So we'll give it a few seconds to process this. And now you'll see that the recovery key has been added. And now I can go ahead and turn on advanced data protection. So now we have set up a recovery key, we've set up a recovery contact. Now we need to turn on advanced data protection. So let's go ahead and tap back. I'm going to tap back one more time, and then I'm going to toggle on or turn on advanced data protection. Now it's going to tell me what recovery methods I have. So I'm going to say review recovery methods. And it'll tell me that I have a recovery contact available. And now I can say contacts up to date. And now it says I need to verify my recovery key. So again, remember we saved that screenshot. I think it'll still be attached to my paste option. So I'm going to push and hold and see and paste it, and it is, so it's there. I'm going to go ahead and tap on next. And it's verifying the recovery key to make sure everything is correct. And now I type in my passcode. And once I do that, it should turn on the advanced data protection. And now you can see advanced data protection has been turned on. I can go ahead and tap on done. Another thing of note, if you decide to turn on advanced data protection, be aware that if you are collaborating on files or notes, end-to-end encryption is only enabled when all parties are using advanced data protection. Advanced data protection disables web access to your iCloud data at iCloud.com, ensuring your data is only available on your trusted devices. But there is a workaround for that. So right now you can see that I'm on the advanced data protection area. If I tap on the back button, you'll see underneath where it says Advanced Data Protection, there's a toggle switch that allows you to access data at iCloud.com on the web. I'm going to swipe halfway up my screen to come into Safari, and I've already typed in iCloud.com. And when I do, it gives me a message that says iCloud data web access is off because I turned on the advanced data protection. But let me toggle this switch on. So if I come back into the settings area and I toggle on this switch, I come into an area and it says allow access to your iCloud data on the web. So I can go ahead and tap on that and it's going to ask me again, and I'm going to say yes. And so now that should be turned on. So if I swipe out of here and come back into iCloud and refresh the page, I think you'll see that I have access now to my apps, and it tells me that advanced data protection is on. If at some point you decide you want to disable the advanced data protection, you can do so at any time. What you'll need to do is launch the Settings app, tap your name at the top, tap on iCloud, scroll down until you see Advanced Data Protection is on, tap on that, and then go ahead and tap on Turn Off Advanced Data Protection. Because the settings are stored on your device, I'm going to go ahead and turn off. You're going to be asked for your iPhone passcode. And now it should be turning the device settings off at this point. It should be turning off advanced data protection. And this can take some time when you turn it off and turn it on. So now you'll see that advanced data protection has been turned off. And that's because you turned it off on the device, so you didn't even have to put in your verification key or your account recovery key. And then once that's turned off, if you come down to where it says account recovery, you'll see that I still have my contact's name in. I also still have a recovery key, which is the one we created. So as long as you have this recovery key switch toggled on, the recovery key that we created is still activated. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my recovery key off, and I'm going to say turn off. And now I would need to create a new recovery key if I wanted to turn on the advanced data protection. If you leave your recovery key and go ahead and turn advanced data protection back on, you would use that old recovery key that you set up, and just be sure that you've saved it either to your photos or to a text edit area so that you always have access to that recovery key. Setting up advanced data protection is essential if you want to be fully secured on your device, but it's not the only step. In addition, be sure to use strong passwords, enable two-factor authentication, and turn off tracking. These are just a few of the steps that you should take. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.